Hook. What would you do if you were sitting in a classroom, quiet as ever, trying to disappear into the background, when suddenly someone's hand wrapped around your throat? No warning, no mercy, just the suffocating grip of someone who wanted to see you break. Now, imagine you've been silent your whole life, holding everything in, every insult, every shove, every laugh behind your back until that very moment when something inside you snaps. This is the story of Elena Harper, a quiet girl nobody thought twice about, the girl whose silence was mistaken for weakness. But on one unforgettable day, when the bullies went too far, she showed them exactly what silence hides. Stay with me until the end, you won't forget what happens. Elena Harper sat in the back of her 10th grade classroom, her notebook half filled with neat little sketches in the margins. She rarely spoke, not because she didn't have thoughts worth sharing, but because every time she tried, her words were drowned out by laughter or rolled eyes. To most people in that room, Elena was invisible, but to a few cruel students she was an easy target. They called her mute, church mouse, or weirdo. Every day, whispers trailed behind her like shadows, and Elena endured it all, choosing silence over confrontation. Her mother had always said, "Keep your head down, baby. The world won't notice you if you don't give it a reason to." So she did. Yet silence doesn't stop cruelty, it fuels it. That morning, something was different. The ringleader, a boy named Travis with a grin sharp as broken glass, had been watching Elena all class. His friends, Danielle and Mark, whispered and snickered, clearly plotting something. Elena kept her eyes on her notebook, heart racing. She knew what came next. The teacher stepped out to make a copy of something, leaving the room unsupervised. That's when Travis made his move. He strolled down the aisle, loud enough for everyone to see, and stopped right beside Elena's desk. Well, he sneered. "Little Miss Quiet, what's the matter? Cat got your tongue?" Elena didn't look up. She just traced another flower on her paper. But Travis wanted more. He wanted a reaction. He wanted power. Without warning, his hand shot out and wrapped around Elena's throat. The classroom gasped. Some laughed nervously. Others froze in shock. His grip wasn't playful, it was crushing. Her vision blurred as panic clawed up her chest. For years, Elena had swallowed her fear. For years, she let silence be her shield. But in that moment of feeling his fingers squeeze, feeling her breath stolen from her, something deep inside her finally broke. She snapped. Her hand shot up, faster than she knew she could move. She grabbed Travis's wrist with the strength she didn't know she had. With one brutal twist, his smug grin twisted into horror. A loud crack echoed through the room. Travis screamed, collapsing to the floor, his wrist bent in a direction no human hand should go. The room exploded into chaos. Danielle screamed. Mark lunged forward to grab Elena, but before he could touch her, she caught his arm too, and with the same unshakable fury, she snapped his wrist backward like a twig. His cry of pain silenced the classroom into terrified stillness. Elena stood there, chest heaving, eyes blazing. For the first time in her life, the girl who never spoke had made her statement loud and clear, and for the first time ever nobody dared to laugh. The room was thick with fear. Students stared, frozen in their seats, their wide eyes darting from the writhing bullies on the floor to Elena, who stood like a storm finally unleashed. Her throat burned where Travis's hand had been, but her heart pounded with something new. Power. Not the cruel kind they had flaunted to, but the raw, undeniable power of finally refusing to be broken. The teacher rushed back in, dropping the stack of papers as she took in the scene. "What on earth?" "Elena, what happened?" Nobody spoke, not even the loudest, meanest kids. For once, silence wasn't Elena's curse, it was her weapon. The principal was called. An ambulance came for Travis and Mark, their cries echoing down the hall. Students whispered in shock, "Did you see her?" She didn't even flinch. Elena was taken to the office, sitting stiff in the chair while the adults argued. The bullies' parents demanded punishment. Her mother was called in, her face pale as she listened. But Elena sat there, calm. Something had shifted in her. When the principal asked, "Elena, why did you do this?" She finally spoke. Her voice was steady, but it carried years of weight. "Because I was done being silent." The words lingered like a bell tolling. From that day on, everything changed. Elena wasn't invisible anymore. She wasn't the girl people mocked. Some feared her, some admired her, But everyone respected her. Teachers took notice. Students thought twice before whispering her name. But the real change wasn't in them. It was in Elena. For the first time, she realized that her silence hadn't been peace, it had been a cage. And when she broke free, she discovered something every quiet soul needs to hear: your voice, your strength, your boundary. Yes, they matter. Elena didn't become a fighter in the sense of fists and broken bones. She became something stronger, a girl who finally learned to stand tall, to defend herself not just physically, but with words, with courage, with the truth she had always swallowed down. By the end of the year, Elena wasn't just the quiet girl anymore. She was the girl who survived, who transformed, who proved that even the softest voice can shatter chains. And as she walked down the halls, her classmates stepped aside, not out of fear, but out of recognition. Because when Elena finally spoke, a broken bar, the world listened. Diaris's final message: this story isn't just about breaking bones. It's about breaking silence. It's about the moment you decide you will no longer let anyone control your worth, your voice, or your spirit.